Hello, this is Sean Manderscheid, and this is May the 5th, 2020, and I'm here in the Heights, and this is my latest video. I haven't made one in a while. We are now approximately 2 months into the COVID-19 lockdown. At least that's the narrative for the reason for the lockdown, not one that I'm completely convinced of, but as of 2 months ago, that was the reason for it. I'm feeling very positive about some of the things that I'm seeing in the current environment right now, even though now 2 months into this, when it appears that people generally are feeling a lot more secure about their chances with this pandemic that really had a lot of people very nervous, and it's probably killing some people. I am largely gathering information all the time, and there is a certain amount of reservation that I have taken. This is my own personal belief systems that I'm exposing. I'm not hiding anything, and I'm certainly not in a position to judge anyone who has a different opinion than I do on any subject. And in fact, encourage people to do their own research and to draw their own conclusions over time. And I also recommend hesitating from jumping to conclusions on the reasons that certain things might be going on. These are things like the reason for the lockdown. It's the narrative is that it's because of COVID-19 and the danger of the pandemic that threatens maybe to kill a massive amount of people in Houston and in the world over. And then it could also be that the lockdown is not entirely related to that. COVID-19 and coronavirus could be something that is extremely risky to a large percentage of the populace, and it may not be. This pandemic could have been something that was naturally created, or it could be something that was man-made. The mainstream media might be trying to do the best they can to enlighten all of us people in society, and they could also have a lot of special interest that keeps their narrative very tight and very simple focused into creating fear, and they may be lying to us every time they open their mouth, or let's say the majority of the time. These are all possibilities. The possibilities that right now we're seeing a lot of videos that are contesting the narratives. The mainstream narratives are being removed constantly as of now from YouTube, and posts on Facebook being removed from there. This is not something that I've heard. This is something that's happening from my own posts and videos that I've put out there. Now, people may be of the opinion that some of the things that I have shared were items that were misinformation or unfounded or not true. I think right now there's the majority of the populace believes that they have been fed a lot of lies in a lot of directions as it relates to why we've been locked down for 2 months when small businesses are failing. And we are in a very dangerous situation right now. Let me be clear that when I am using my critical thinking and I am expressing deep concerns about things like the situation that our economy is in right now, and our small businesses are in, which are being destroyed every day that goes by right now, along with tons and tons of people being laid off and losing their jobs. Unemployment is skyrocketing, suicides are skyrocketing, people that are at home and violent situations at home being beaten, those numbers are skyrocketing. There are certain things that are happening all over the place. And so at the end of the day, I think the majority of people are intelligent enough that they're asking questions, which is very important. I would suggest that you hesitate for a bit in making any determinations as to what reality is completely, and all these things that are kind of up for question. And I would encourage you to get as much information from as many sources as possible before you draw any conclusions on your own, and don't listen to anyone, including me, on what conclusion you draw on the things that are a question to you. I am of a very high positive state and energy right now. I'm very much taking care of myself. I am well and I am happy, and even though our business is hit pretty hard right now, along with a lot of other small businesses, there's a lot of positive things that are going on in the marketplace and things that are stirring up. So we see good signs. We happen to be one of the fortunate ones that are able to be open for business and called essential right now, which I'm not a fan of government calling businesses essential or not, but we happen to be very fortunate where other small businesses haven't been, where we're able to operate. So I'm very positive. At the same time, I'm very real about things that I'm concerned about. And like I said, I'm most concerned about the amount of people losing their jobs and the small businesses that are folding. I am of the belief that this pandemic is real, whether it was naturally created or man-made created. It's very concerning. I don't necessarily believe that it threatens the entire, like a good percentage of the entire populace. This is my own personal belief, and I don't mind putting my views out there. I've been doing that for 2 months now. I was talking about the small businesses and my concerns of the economy 2 months ago. I am still focused on those as being primary concerns, and I am not personally attacking anybody who believes that they need to be more concerned of COVID-19 in the way of either waiting around for a vaccination or deciding to wear a face mask during the day as they go about their duties, whether they go to the grocery store or they're jogging or walking on Heights Boulevard or out in the community or whatever. I am not currently wearing a mask. I won't wear a mask. I believe in everybody's right to do what you want to do to protect yourself. I believe that there is more going on to the mask being pushed on the mass of society than what the narrative is. Meaning that though people think of it as to whether it is going to help save your life or keep you from getting this pandemic, which to most people, even from the basic story, is not something that's going to threaten your life, but might make you very uncomfortable for a matter of days and possibly weeks, depending on also what man does to react and respond to the fact that you might be getting this virus or something that may be the virus or something else. Okay, so I believe there's more to it with the face mask. I think that symbolically it could also have a lot to do with being shut up and silenced. This corresponds with the amount of videos that contest the narrative that we are being fed constantly by mainstream sources, along with each other regurgitating it. I believe that there's more to the mask than it being something that is related to the virus, but also something where people are being shut up and silenced. This is my own personal belief again, after doing a lot of my own independent research, and I do much more than a lot of people. I'm very active, and for 20 years I've been studying things that are not related to the pandemic, but different economic cycles and different things related to government responses to things. I've done a lot more research than many friends when I haven't necessarily had any particular reason for doing it, but I do like to understand nuts and bolts of why things work in a variety of different ways. Fortunate to have a father who's an engineer, and I really love to understand the reason things work, even the human mind and the brain. So I believe there's more to the face mask than is the common narrative. I am deeply, deeply concerned about the amount of videos that are being removed from YouTube and the amount of posts that are being removed, my own included, from Facebook, along with all of the comments that are being removed, as people are trying to uncover the real truth, because intuitively we all have felt like we've been fed a lot of lies. This is what I'm very positive about right now, is that when I am seeing people out in the community and I'm talking to my neighbors and friends and my own sphere, people are not accepting the common narrative, and they're digging for information, and they're commonly saying, I don't know what to believe. This is a very good sign. At the same time, we're in a very dire situation of the need for small businesses to be able to open up and not be given a rope to put around their neck by government policies and restrictions, because they've already been all but destroyed. And this economic stimulus money that we need to understand doesn't come from thin air. Any kind of economic stimulus while places are being shut down that is a government response to keeping them afloat is directly taxed from the people. This is taken from one form, bailout money, which in fact is printing of dollars from the Federal Reserve, that stimulates the economy through giving paychecks or a certain money amount among businesses as well as the employees that would hopefully keep them afloat. We all, when we use our critical thinking, know that that's not going to be a replacement for opening. This is just buying us a little bit of time, and in some cases we might be talking about a week, because the amount of money that people are going to get is not going to significantly change anything. At the same time, the amount that we're increasing to the national debt, which started out around $23 trillion, is now being increased by, I believe, $6 or $8 trillion just in this last 60 days from the government responsive economic stimulus. There is no, in my strong opinion, there is no intelligent way of economically stimulating the small businesses and the economy but to allow these businesses to open their doors as quickly as possible. Anything else is likely going to be slaughtering the majority of the ones that are hanging on by a thread right now. So that's enough for my update for now. I'm encouraging all of you to continue to do your own independent research. I feel very confident in people's response generally now, whereas I was being attacked quite a bit 2 months ago for posting videos that were challenging the common narrative. Anyway, I wish you very well, and if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. And that's it for this video, and take care.